Hi, this is Vidya Krishna Swamy. I help people cultivate stress-free, resilient, growth-oriented mindset and lead a liberated life through proven practices from psychology and mindfulness. In this video, we will deepen our understanding about our nervous system. See, we don't have to learn the concepts from an academic standpoint or just for the sake of knowledge. But when it comes to the question of our health and well-being, it's important we understand what are the influencers, what contributes to our well-being, so that we can tap into it for our advantage. There are tons of valuable practices that you may get on the internet for stress relief, peace, growth, and mental health. But without understanding their relevance, without understanding what are the influences of your well-being, you will not feel connected to those practices or concepts, leave alone following them as a routine or adopting them and practicing them. So let's dive into the topic of this video, which is our nervous system and their functioning. Pay attention because you can tap into the potential of this amazing internal mechanism if you understand it and then use the proven practices. Let's say a toddler gets fascinated by the light emanating from the candle and tries to touch the light. But as he takes the finger close to the light, he senses heat, burn, pain, threat, and in a jiffy pulls back the finger. Isn't this a scenario that we all can relate to? What happened here? There are messages or signals going from our senses to the brain, and the message coming back from the brain to the body instructing that the finger be pulled back. Likewise, we put on warm clothing during winter. We switch on a fan during summer or feel dejected when things don't go as planned. I gave you these examples to illustrate that human beings adapt to what surfaces in the environment and the change that takes place there. The environment can be people, weather, our own physical conditions, situations, our life situations, our thoughts. We react to our environment in order for us to be in an advantageous position and to stay safe and secure. So, the change in our environment that influences our thoughts, feelings, and actions is called the stimulus, and our reaction to the stimulus is response. The messages are the impulses that are stimulated by neurons. The chemicals that help the messages in going via the nerve cells are the neurotransmitters. Neuron is the basic and smallest unit of the nervous system. It is a nerve cell which also stimulates and carries the messages between the brain, spinal cord, and parts of the body. The messages pass between brain and our body through nerves. The neurons can fire these signals at an amazing speed, which is beyond hundreds of miles per second. That means the messages go back and forth between brain and parts of our body at an outstanding speed. The next aspect is of pain. Pain is our system's, rather our nervous system's way of alerting us that something is wrong, that survival is at stake, so that we can avert or reduce the damages, injuries, and be safe. This identifying and responding to the stimulus happens with the help of our nervous system. The nervous system enables sending signals from the spinal cord and the brain throughout our body and then back from the body parts to the brain. If you like this video, if you like the content of this video, please click on the bell icon, subscribe to this channel. Do join my Telegram group. The link is in the description box. There are two kinds or two parts to the nervous system. One is central nervous system and the other one is peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system has brain and spinal cord. The brain, as you know, is the CPU of our body. It controls most of our body functions like alertness, awareness, our thoughts, speech, memory, retrieval of memory, sensations, and movements. Spinal cord carries signals between brain and the peripheral nerves. Peripheral nerves are the nerves that connect the central nervous system to the rest of the body. So, spinal cord carries signals between the brain and the peripheral nerves. It is also responsible for some reflex movements. The peripheral nervous system can be classified based on its functioning, that is, based on voluntary actions and involuntary actions. Let's talk about our voluntary action. The part of the nervous system that sends messages between CNS, that is the central nervous system, and the body during our voluntary actions is called somatic neural system. So, for our voluntary or conscious actions like thinking on purpose, making a phone call to a friend, routine actions like routine decisions like what to cook for the day, which dress to wear, setting up an appointment, starting to reach office, writing an assignment, any planning executing where there is voluntary engagement from us, our somatic neural system is responsible. It sends messages and regulates these functions. And the second one of the peripheral nervous system is the autonomic nervous system. We don't consciously breathe. We don't direct our heart to beat. We don't instruct our digestive system to digest the food. Likewise, certain other functions like the temperature of our body, defecation, sexual functions, these are all self regulated involuntary actions. That is, they take place on their own. This is because of autonomic nervous system, which regulates these physiological functions. It is called as such because it enables some life processes without our conscious effort. It's a self-regulating biological process in living beings that gives them stability. Autonomic nervous system has three parts. The first one being enteric nervous system. This is the lesser known part of the nervous system. This is called the second brain or the gut brain. It is similar to the brain in the sense that it depends on the same kind of neurons or neurotransmitters like brain. The enteric nervous system goes along the entire digestive tract, the esophagus, stomach, intestines, and the anus. Many people who have stress and anxiety may also have digestive issues and vice versa. And when their psychological issues are taken care of, their digestive issues also improve a lot or become manageable. The communication that happens between the brain and the digestive system via the enteric nervous system is very crucial because this also promotes in our immunity. This part plays a crucial role in our physical and mental health too. Both these aspects are connected. Hence, if you want to take care of your physiological health, it is important to take care of your mental health too, because both are interrelated. The second part of the nervous system, of the autonomic nervous system, is the sympathetic nervous system. This is located near certain regions in the spinal cord and is responsible for reflex actions. That instance when the child pulled the finger sensing heat and burn, it is this part which is responsible for that reflex action. Basically, this is geared towards saving us from any possible threat. So, if there is a perceived danger, this part causes the flight or fight response. Here, the neural pathways are short and hence the reaction time is very less. This part of the nervous system causes speeding up of heart rate, pain, tightening in the muscles, sweating, dilating of the pupils, release of adrenaline. Though we don't have the dangers that our hunter gatherer ancestors who stayed in the jungles faced, though we stay in a civilized world, the way we perceive everyday situations is or could be similar to the threats that our ancestors anticipated. But if we let this understanding and reaction to prevail, to continue, our sympathetic nervous system is at play, we are certainly overworked. The third part of the ANS is the parasympathetic nervous system. This part of the autonomic nervous system prevents the body from overworking and moves it to a state of calm. That is the resting, digesting, and breathing state. This is the state that gives the body stability via enabling normal, relaxed functioning. It enables slower heartbeats, increased digestion, contracted pupils, slow breathing, etc. The neural pathways here are longer, so the response time is longer, unlike in case of the sympathetic nervous system. Hence, we could say that when our sympathetic nervous system is at play, we are in a survival, crisis dealing, and emergency mode. And when we allow or bring parasympathetic nervous system to play, we are in a functioning, normal, and optimal mode. Both sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system have their context and importance. Let's say there is a role reversal. What will happen? If we see a vehicle heading towards us, and if our parasympathetic nervous system is at play, we will be in a rested state and run over by the vehicle. That's the time when our sympathetic nervous system has to be activated. It has to generate messages and cause reflex actions so we move to safety. Likewise, when there is no potential threat and still we operate from our sympathetic nervous system, then we overwork and deprive ourselves from calm, relaxed state and optimal functioning. And if you go on repeating this reactive, impulsive flight or fight response as if we are in a crisis state, you can imagine what will happen to our physiology. The sense of equilibrium and stability, even that will be hampered. And how we will behave with others in our surroundings, even that will be impacted because we're going to be in a stressful state predominantly. This is a point to take note of and hence get on to learn the practices that helps us not to be in a crisis mode. There are many proven practices which help to release the stress, let go of our beliefs that don't serve us or are irrational. These practices help us to be kinder, compassionate towards ourselves and others in our environment. They help us to be mindful of our behavior. By learning these, we can alter our interpretation of the stimulus and break free from repetitive, unhelpful behavioral patterns. If you want to learn about these practices, please join my focused Telegram group. The link is given in the description box. The Telegram group is reserved for people who wish to engage in this topic further. If any part of this video has helped you in any way, please encourage this channel by subscribing and liking this video. Namaste.